Johnny boy, Johnny boy, Johnny boy. You know what we're gonna do today?
What we're gonna do? Grow a beard?
Find that funny, don't you? My own doesn't even recognize me. Lost the beard. Don't you worry. We'll come back in a couple of days.
Human Shrek.
F off. I have been called all sorts of things, including Peter Griffin. I don't look like Peter Griffin. But you know what we're gonna do today? We're gonna smash this piece of shit into a million pieces. Someone sent me a fake watch. I made a promise. I made an oath. The Nico with the beard made an oath. And the Nico without a beard is gonna fulfill that oath. It is like... what do you call that? A promise.
Porridge?
Yeah, that one. Making a watch world a better place, one watch at a time, and it starts now.
So this is fake?
Yeah, this is fake. Fake watches should be treated like this.
Jeez.
Smash that into pieces. Get the shut up, you're not pathetic.
No more smashing. The table's getting destroyed. We need this.
Oh yeah, we need this table, don't we? This is a warning to all you that wear fake watches and act like they're real. Chris Eubank, coming for your son. No, it's Chris Eubank Jr., not his dad. His dad's actually a legend. Honestly, don't wear this shit. It looks dog shit. And what you're doing here is supporting terrorism and child labor. That's what you support by wearing a watch like this. One destroyed watch and one destroyed table later. Now we're gonna figure out who's gonna win the World Cup of watches. This video is made possible because of my Discord and the members on the Discord. Because they decided the groups are shit, did they?
No, they came up with a list of watch brands in seated positions. There were 4 different pools of watches. I randomized the groups from those pools.
In Group A, you can find Rolex, IWC, Breitling, and Panerai. I know already who's gonna end up last. Group B contains Vacheron Constantin, Longines, Orient, and Frank Muller. In Group C, you'll find Audemars Piguet, Jaeger-LeCoultre, Tech Heuer, and Grand Seiko. I know as well who's gonna end up last there.
That's kind of the group of death, though.
Yeah, that is the group of death, to be fair. Group D, Patek Philippe, Hamilton, Elan & Söhne, and Invicta. Oh, that's a good one.
Invicta are the host nation.
Oh, Invicta. Invicta is the host nation, aye.
The World Cup of Watches 2022, hosted by Invicta.
That's why Invicta has a spot in this list. Group E, FP Journe, Tissot, Citizen, and Hermès. Right, this is a difficult group, to be fair. This is a difficult group. In Group F, you'll find Cartier, Omega, Timex, and Hublot. In Group G, you'll find Richard Mille, Oris, Jacob & Co, and MVMT. Why the did MVMT movement qualify themselves? How?
The Discord qualified them.
So this Discord's fault.
Yeah.
And then the last group, Casio, Tudor, Seiko, and Fossil. It's a good group. So what do we do now?
You need to choose 2 from each group to go through to the knockout stages.
Right, Group A. I like Group A the way it is. Rolex, IWC, Breitling, and Panerai. Panerai is dog shit. That should always be bottom. Rolex versus IWC. Rolex wins that, unfortunately, every day of the week, except on a Sunday.
Luckily, they play on Saturdays.
Yeah, luckily they play on Saturdays, right? Rolex wins that. IWC beats Breitling and Panerai 6 times on a Friday. So we've made the decision. Rolex and IWC are going through to the knockout stages. Group B. Vacheron Constantin, Longines, Orient, and Frank Muller. Right, let's start from the bottom. Frank Muller is a bit like Italy. They were unbelievable in the past, but dog shit nowadays. They're 100%. They're out. Orient actually adds value to the industry, right? Or Frank Muller doesn't add any value. I would say that, again, this Group B is seated correctly. With Vacheron Constantin and Longines going to the next round, you're a joke because Group C is as well. Audemars Piguet and Jaeger-LeCoultre will go to the next round. I would only disagree with Tech Heuer and Grand Seiko. Grand Seiko should be ended 3rd and Tech Heuer should end last. Group D! Yeah, Group D. I could be a rightful and do exactly the same as on the World Cup and get the Germans kicked out in the group stage, just for the sheer banter. Invicta is like Qatar, lost, always lost, loses every game at 9-0. Hamilton could be the surprise. Hamilton could be the Japan. So I would actually keep the group as it is. Patek Philippe, Hamilton, Elan & Söhne, and Invicta. Now we're going to change it.
Yeah.
This battle against the Germans has to stop. I'll give them 2nd position. Patek Philippe and Elan & Söhne will go to the next round. A, B, C, D, E. Oh, that's a difficult group. Yeah, that's a clear winner, of course. François Paul Journe, all day, every day. That's not even a question.
But the battle for 2nd place is quite strong.
It's either Hermès or Tissot. Hermès is not there yet. From Group E, we have the winner, FP Journe, and the runner-up, Tissot. A, B, C, D, E, F. You literally have it in the right order. Like, you couldn't have swap them around, no? That's not...
It's alright, the real fun happens when we get to the knockouts.
Yeah, because this is easy as Group F, Cartier, Omega, Timex, Hublot. That's it. Group G. We're gonna keep Group G. Richard Mille, Oris, Jacob, and Cohen movement. Richard Mille and Oris are going to the next round. Group H, Casio, Tudor, Seiko, and Fossil. Again, not a shock, and again in a very good order. Casio and Tudor, no surprise, will go to the next round. This was too easy, man. There's no shock results here.
Now it's time for the real fun.
I may hope so, because otherwise it's going to be a very boring video to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, the watch knockout stages have begun. We start off with Rolex versus Longines. Rolex wins that with 3-1. Submit score 3-1. Rolex. Done. Vacheron Constantin and IWC. No, 1-0. 1-0 last minute. Audemars Piguet versus Elong and Söhne. The Germans are being knocked out again. Surprise, surprise. 9. This time it's 4-1. This is gonna hurt for the Germans. Power, baby! Patek Philippe and Jaeger-LeCoultre. Patek Philippe wouldn't be where it is today without Jaeger-LeCoultre, so we're gonna give them a lot of respect. It's gonna be penalties. And in the end, Patek Philippe wins. FB Journe versus Omega. 18-0. 18-0, yeah, 18-0. Cartier versus Tissot. 3-1. Cartier wins. Richard Mille versus Tudor. Oh, that's nasty. That is so nasty. 4-1. Casio versus Oris. 1-0. Casio. Ladies and gentlemen, the quarterfinals of the World Cup of Watches. So we have Rolex against Vacheron Constantin. We have Audemars Piguet versus Patek Philippe. We have FB Journe versus Cartier. We have Richard Mille versus Casio. I don't want to do this. This is not funny. I don't like this. There's no fun in this. Vacheron has not done anything other than the 222. Really cool things with the overseas. Vacheron hasn't done very much. That said, Rolex has done all. So both lazy as both brands lazy as Nah, that's not true. Vacheron works harder. My heart speaks out, say Vacheron, but unfortunately, Rolex wins this for me with 2-1. Wow, that's controversial. This is a nasty move. Patek has brought out some really cool watches this year. And AP brought out basically 1 or 2 really cool watches. I love AP. But my 5231J is more important than this. I will go for Patek Philippe winning with 1-0. FB Journe and Cartier. Yeah, that's not even... That's FB Journe, obviously. 1-0. Sorry, correction. 6-0. Oh, can I skip this match? Casio is God tier. Richard Mille is not God tier. But now you put them next to each other. And if there's one person on the planet that says, here's a Casio and here's a Richard Mille. One is 50 quid and one is 500,000. You can pick. If there's one person that picks that 50 quid, that person has a big disease in his head. Casio actually made a big impact on the entire watch world, where Richard Mille only made an impact in the high end of the watch world. So if you then look at that perspective, Casio wins all day, every day. But if you play the World Cup today with George Best, Pelé, Fat Ronaldo, Maradona, you would still lose. You don't win a game because these guys are too old and too fat and they're not as good as they were in the past. My heart says I want to let Casio through to the next round, and I actually want Casio to become the world champion of watches, but 4-3 for Richard Mille.
That was a good game.
That was very tough. Referee was a in this game.
Yeah,
though.
I think the ref lost Casio.
Yeah. 17 yellow cards. Semi-finals are here, ladies and gentlemen. Rolex versus Patek Philippe. And this is the moment where Patek Philippe absolutely Rolex in the ass vertically. 6-1, no 4-1. 4-1 for Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe in the semi-final. FB Journe or Richard Mille? Wow. I'll give you an option. Here's a Richard Mille, here's an FB Journe. What watch would you wear?
The Richard Mille.
Your wrists are tiny, you know.
Oh no, but I would get one of the wee Lando Norris ones.
Ah, RM67. Yeah, they're good. That's my thought too. But Francois Paul is probably the best, most innovative watchmaker to date that's still alive. He is nuts, but yeah, I would give it to Richard Mille.
Whoa, I didn't expect that.
2-1, Richard Mille. And now on Sunday, the 18th of December, the final of the World Cup of Watches.
Hosted by Invicta.
Hosted by Invicta.
In the Invicta Stadium.
In the Invicta Stadium. Must be a big, horrible looking stadium. Patek Philippe versus Richard Mille. I don't like this game. It's just, it's a really up draw that made this happen. Right, let me call a few people. I'm not gonna do this alone. Hello?
You're all clean. Look at you.
Oh, so nice. Thank you. At least you don't call me a baby face.
You look like a baby's ass, I think.
Question. Say it's the World Cup final. Patek Philippe or Richard Mille?
Patek Philippe.
All right. Love you. Bye. 1-0. Patek Philippe. Right. I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
World Cup of Watches. Final. Patek Philippe, Richard Mille. Who wins?
The classic side of me wants to say Patek.
But
But I kind of feel like
I like the futuristic, forward-looking side of Richard Mille. I'm gonna have to say Richard Mille.
Oh, that's 1-1. Didn't make it easier. F***'s sake. Let her have it.
But I would never buy one. But I would if I could afford one.
Ah, there you go. That's 1-1. Hello!
Hello.
World Cup of Watches, final. Patek Philippe, Richard Mille. Who's winning?
No idea. I haven't watched a single game.
Oh, come on. Who wins it?
Probably Richard Mille.
Wow, I didn't expect that from you.
I think it's bigger. I think it's louder. I think it's got more go.
Good point. That's 2-1 for Richard Mille.
Bro, you shaved everything. You look like a mixture of an older man and a young boy.
I need your help. The World Cup of Watches. And in the final, there's Patek Philippe and Richard Mille. Who wins?
Man, that's tough. It's innovation versus tradition. Remember, we're doing a World Cup right now. We're not doing the greatest watch in history. I guess I would have to say Richard Mille. And you saw I had to think about it because innovation right now might be beating tradition. What were you thinking?
To be honest, I was virgin towards Richard Mille. Eric made a really good point. Tradition, 100% Patek Philippe. But tradition doesn't beat innovation. Tradition is the past. I can't put a full squad of old players there because once upon a time they were good. Richard Mille is the winner of the World Cup of Watches. And Richard Mille won with 4-1. Wow, I didn't expect that.
Thank you, Invicta, for the hosting of the World Cup of Watches.
Never see you again. F*** off, shithole.